Next up, we've got actors Eater and Helene working an excerpt from the play Split by Michael Weller.
I was being a bunny rabbit with penis envy.
This still feels like an argument.
Go again. So, Eater, I think what we're going to have to do is have you project a lot and act as if it's harder to speak than it is, so I can hear you fighting for every word.
I was being a bunny rabbit with penis envy.
All right, good. Now, Helene, the idea of a baseline of reality starts here. Everything you say always must come from the other person. So you manufactured the feeling, and then you repeated the feeling.
Okay.
You have to connect to him and just talk what's real right now and just be. I'm going to fight with him on his language, his diction. We're going to go after that today. I'm going to go after you on just being real, not putting anything on it, no mustard, zero. So I would even like to restrict all of your physicality and say you have to wait till you earn it.
Okay.
So just look at him, and you don't have to look at her. I just said she looks at you. So you can if you want, but just don't feel forced, okay? But let her soak in your energy. Just talk from his energy, what fits the mood, what's real. Go ahead.
I was being a bunny rabbit with penis envy.
This still feels like an argument.
Way better, much louder. Do it again, much louder, and just please separate every word. Big breath. Just your line, Eater, go ahead. So I need you to separate this and still and feels, like separate them, okay? And we're gonna right to your line. We're skipping over the first line. Take a breath.
This still feels like an argument.
Good. 10 times louder.
This still feels like an argument.
Better. Again, slower.
This still feels like an argument.
Better, louder, and give little breaks between the words.
This still feels like an argument.
Now you do nothing and you just look at her.
What we said before, we didn't mean it, did we?
Carol, we were just...
Less, Helene. Bring it down. Nothing on your face. I was talking to her. Now you, 10 times louder. And fix the... Every word must be separate. Yeah, no, your line, Eater. Directly to you.
Kero, we were just... I don't know.
Why did we say it?
It doesn't matter. We didn't mean it.
We're the best couple I know. You're not tired of being together, are you?
Kero,
Less sad sap, Helene. Less sad sap there.
Okay.
Ask him genuinely.
We're the best couple I know. You're not tired of being together, are you?
Kero, we were just angry. Let's forget about it.
Again, 10x your voice and slower.
Kero.
Vibrate. Bring your voice up. Do the thing you said in your monologue with the on every single word. And very loud. And I'll tell you what, it's scary as shit. English is not your first language, true?
Yeah, it's true. It's not.
So that's scary. It's incredibly scary. So what you're doing is you're holding it back.
Yes.
Okay? Just like anybody would, hold back, and we all get quieter when we're doing the thing that we're afraid of. Okay? Here's what's crazy, though. If you trust me, much like I was trying to get Han to trust me yesterday and punch without knowing the why, if you trust me, you're going to be the male version of Sofia Vergara. Because she has found a way to slow down, egregiously slow, and add emotion, and it's charming. She doesn't apologize for her accent. When you bring your voice down, you're apologizing or saying sorry for the fact that you said steals instead of still. There was no S there. I forgive you because we can all understand what you were saying. I can't forgive the mumbling fast, you covering it up, because I don't understand what you're saying. As long as I understand it, I will love you as an audience member. If I don't understand you, I'll check out. Okay? So right to your line, trust me, big loud voice, every word separate to the best of your ability. And as you separate the line, the word, allow yourself to add whatever emotion feels real and communicate that to her. That's your talent. Go ahead. Big, loud voice, be brave, please.
Kero, we were just angry.
Good. See if you can go 10x that.
Kero, we were just angry.
Good. 10x that and
Kero,
slower.
we were just angry.
Slower.
Kero, we were just angry.
Good.
Let's forget about it.
Good.
Jean told me people think we're the perfect couple.
So Helene?
Did I skip forward?
No. You need to not do it. Okay. Your diction's too good. Your voice is too loud. You're too expressive. You're everything that every theater teacher teaches, but you're too much of it.
Okay.
So you have to hide yours because you've practiced it so much that if you start to lean into the things I'm asking him to do, it's very weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Do less. all you have to do is what are you saying here? Just say it.
Gene told me people think we're the perfect couple.
Yeah, you be lazy. Go ahead.
Gene told me people think we're the perfect couple.
Then we can't split up, can we? We have too much to live up to. We can't disappoint all our friends.
Splitting up was never mentioned tonight. I declare it to have never been mentioned.
I second the motion.
Is that real alcohol? Great. Then drink it a lot and get drunk as hell. Because you already are. Allow the alcohol, let it come into your veins, feel it. Big voice, drunk man.
Let's get drunk before they get here. Let's be really disgusting hosts. Try and gross out Gene's new guy. Oh, damn the beans. Pour me some more wine.
Good.
I never thought that you were jealous.
Way slower, way slower. Every word, you got to separate every word, big, loud.
I never thought that you were jealous. That's all. You never have been. We have all of these friends. We see them all the time. We talk about them behind their backs. They talk about us behind our backs. We all wonder who has the best life, the best relationship, the best sex, the best apartment, the most happiness. I mean, that's what friends are for.
Beans are on. What?
I said that's what friends are for. To make you feel.
Okay, good. Are those the beans?
Yeah.
The beans are on. That means they're in there.
I mean, they're cooking.
Yeah, they're cooking. and then, Helene, you're not confused. You're not confused. You're drunk too. You just sit down and you go, what? Like you missed what he said. You're curious. You're not in a bad mood.
Gotcha.
You just go back and sit back down.
Okay.
Go ahead. Pick it up from the beans are done, and you're happy about it. It's like our beans are on. Like all right, now we can get back to what we were doing. I missed everything you just said. And go right back to your seat. It makes the most sense to go directly to your seat and sit down. And you get to be sloppy. He has to be very precise. You have to be sloppy with your diction and your voice, just like you were. It's great. Go ahead.
All right. Beans are on. What?
I said that's what friends are for.
Good. So, Helene, why'd you go to that seat? You have any clue?
Not particularly.
So I pointed to the other seat twice, but I don't know if you planned over here, or it was something you'd worked on or whatever. But
no, we had. Yeah, it had been planned.
Got
here.
it. So lose it. Lose
Okay.
it. Because everything you had planned is shit. Throw it out the window. Not that what you did was shit. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I want you to release. So here's what's interesting. Because you were in that chair, because that chair's pulled out,
Yeah.
it's the most logical place to sit.
Yeah.
It's all about being real, not planned. If that chair was knocked over because of drunk man over there, then maybe you sit over here. But and then you don't go over there and pick it up and whatever, like you notice it and you improvise around it. But the most logical thing, it's easiest to go here and sit down.
Okay.
And then you're not, because then you got caught being like acty and trying to face out,
Yeah.
which got you uncomfortable, which got you
Because then I'm
sounding fake.
upstaged too.
What?
Because then I'm also upstage.
And you know
trying-
it because
yeah.
you're an actress.
Yeah.
Right. And now you have an uncomfortable look in your face because you're actually trying to strategize, how do I not get upstaged?
Right.
Instead of listening to him and having fun and being drunk, because that's all I want you to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Beans are on. What?
Is there a pause before beans are on and what?
I think so.
Let's make sure, because I think it doesn't seem
No,
like it
well,
fits.
Maybe not.
I
just
think
trying to-
I think the interpretation is what did you say? Like, because
Yeah,
you heard him yelling,
Right.
so it's the beans are on. What?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's you're playing. You're fun.
Beans are on. What?
I said that's what friends are for.
Don't pose, Helene. Get comfortable.
To make
Lean
you
back.
feel.
Sit back. Relax. Sit back.
I said.
Separate I and said.
I said.
I said.
Okay.
I want separate every single word.
I said that's what friends are for. To make you feel like your life isn't as good as theirs, or that it is better, or it doesn't make any difference. What are you looking at?
It scared me. The things we said.
It scared me too.
Was it moving out of the city? Have you changed your mind?
Go back. Instead, stare at him. Just stare at him, and stare at him.
Oh, when he
Right
asked
now,
me when
just
I'm
stare at him
looking
right now, and relax your face. You don't get to try to. You don't get to show drunk the way he is.
I don't.
You're drunk, but you don't get to show it.
Okay.
The actress, I'm taking all the actress out of you. I'm giving you zero room.
Okay.
Just stare at him. Just be drunk. You are drunk. You don't have to show us drunk. Now look at her. What are you staring at? Look him in the eyes. Just relax.
What are you looking at?
Just talk.
It scared me. The things we said.
It scared me too.
What?
It scared me too.
Was it moving out of the city?
No,
Have you changed your mind?
no,
Was it having a baby?
no. I want to get out of here. And I want a baby. I want that.
Then what was it?
I want everything that we've been planning. I want it. I'm happy.
Then what was it?
Less, Helene.
Then what was it?
Do you think that Jean's trying to get something going with me?
If she isn't, she's stupid.
Look at her.
I would if I were her.
Come here. Come here. I don't know why we talk about splitting up. I don't want to. And I know that you don't want to. So, therefore, let's forget about it. We never said it. Okay?
I've had a terrible daydream. I've had it a bunch of times.
Good, go lay on the couch. I don't know why, but just do it. Just
What
talk.
is it?
Just talk. Don't act, Helene.
What is it?
You remember the first week, the vegetables?
I remember.
Did we ever get out of bed?
No. Except for the vegetables.
Remember that note they sent up the people downstairs?
We appreciate the fact that you are in love. But some of us have to go to work in the morning. And we'd appreciate it if you could express your moments of pleasure without Django noises. Regards, 4B, the Millers.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a daydream?
No. But it's like that a little. We're laying in bed watching TV.
Just get through it. Don't worry about the drunk. Take a breath. Just speak.
We're laying in bed watching TV. But the bed isn't really there. And the TV and the room and the apartment aren't really there. It's more like a hologram. You can just put your hand through it. But we're there.
Don't act.
And
Stop it. Stop it. Go back. Go back. Just say it. Just say it. I reread your play this morning. That's what I came in early to do. Because I fought for you yesterday hard, and you and I didn't see eye to eye, but then we did. Outside, you came to me and we talked.
Yeah.
And we're there now. It's great. But I came in to verify some things. And I reread the whole play.
Yeah.
I reread this monologue that you're afraid of. It's beautiful and it's very poignant.
Yeah.
And it says a lot about the world we live in right now.
Yeah.
So say the words. Don't be funny. Don't act. This dream is it's a scary reflection of where we are. Just talk.
We were lying in bed watching TV, but the bed wasn't really there. And the TV and the room and the apartment weren't really there. It's more like a hologram. You could put your hand through it, but we were there. We were the only things that were there that were solid.
Listen to her. Stop what you're doing. Listen.
But we were sort of suspended. That's how it felt. And on the TV, there's no programs. It's just commercials, all commercials. And we were waiting for a story to start, and it never did. And all the actors in the commercials were our friends. Bob and Marge were selling Toyotas. And Gene was selling fur coats. And the ads got weird. Started plugging these new identities and countries that you could have sent to you in the mail for a 1-week trial. And all of our friends looked so happy. It was like they were in a trance. And then you and I, and then we looked at each other and realized all we wanted to do was make love in the middle of all of this, suspended. So we rolled over and we were sliding around. And just then, just when we were about to disappear into each other, the doorbell rings. That's it. That's all. Ding dong. It was terrifying. we were both scared out of our minds and we didn't know why.
That's all? Is that a daydream?
Marge thinks I should see a shrink.
Marge thinks everyone should see a shrink.
Don't answer it.
Sorry, we are not here. We went out. We moved to Canada. Oh, Carol is having a baby and I'm writing a book. And we're happier than you are, so fuck you. Maybe it's Jean. Oh, that was close. What does it smell? Shit, the potato. Pour me some wine.
All right, good. We'll stop here.
You.
The end there had a hard time understanding you.
Yes.
The very end. Mm-hmm. Could you feel the difference?
Yes.
Okay, great. Because when you're on it, you're incredible. It's like we can't get enough. So you got to just work really hard on the discipline to maintain that and the bravery to keep it going, to keep it alive. What you did today was magnificent. Your acting was incredible. What you have to learn is you have to stop acting.
Yeah.
You have to prepare to let go. It's not prepare to control. When you just are, it's beautiful. But every time you try to get in there, it's too much. And in this particular case, because we're working on his diction and he was getting drunk and he was doing all these sort of, quote, fun things, he's getting the laughs, is the way it looks. So then you want to join, instead of understanding that he's getting the laughs because you're setting him up. Which means we're getting the laughs. We're earning the laughs together. And you had to come down to earth so that he could be risen up. And that's what I mean when I'm talking about your voice comes down so that his can get lifted.
Yeah.
And if you had, I don't know, some world-renowned Shakespearean actor who was incredible, who can maybe walk circles around your voice. I don't know if they're out there, but let's say he's out there. And you're acting opposite him, he might have to tone it down for you. That's it. You know, it's just different. And this play, what's interesting, like I reread it, and the immense sadness that I had from it is like incredible. This is it's the definition of what it means to be unhappy because you're focused on the other side of the picket fence. It's what it's all about. You did cheat, by the way. You both did. And you've already been cheating in your mind with Jean. It's just as bad. But you did cheat. Twice with the same girl. It's in there. All you say is, oh, it didn't happen. Just like saying we split didn't happen. Of course it happened. That's why you break up. That's why you get a divorce. You know, and what are your friends doing? You know, so this is one of the saddest lines. I mean, your friends start swinging, become swingers, because guess what? They're unhappy. Like, oh, this will make me happy. But then what's the truth of it? They're like, oh, we're mailing out to a bunch of fat people that are unhappy too. And they're like, I never liked swinging in the first place. Well, neither did I. Why were we doing it? Well, I don't know. And then they look at you guys and like, well, what we thought they were the perfect couple. They broke up. Maybe we should break up. They literally break up to keep up with you. And And then you end up with some weird video sex guy. You end up with Gene. Nobody's happy.
Yeah.
Nobody's happy. And it's this monologue. This is the core. That monologue's the core. The one you wanted to skip. It's so funny. It's the core of the play.
Yeah.
And you miss one line, it's okay, because I know you just memorized last night.
Yeah.
But the idea is, my dream, it's all commercials, and we were waiting for the program. We're waiting for a story that never started. It's all commercials. It's all bullshit.
It's just a show.
My life is bullshit. I'm putting up crap on Instagram, and it's not real. Therefore, I feel hollow no matter how good my 9 square is. And that's the thing that we're all running into when we feel so sad, because we can't focus on what's right in front of us and how much we should be grateful, and it's okay to plant your feet. I'm reading a new book right now, and it's a different take on time, and I really like it. And I'm not all the way to this guy's thesis yet, but he comes in hard and he says, hey, there's only 4,000 weeks in your life. Yeah. And he said, in a survey, when you ask people that and they don't think, if you get them not to think, they immediately will come up with 15,000, 300,000, like you just think you got more than that. Like 4,000, dang, well, where am I at? I'm halfway, maybe. And that's if you're lucky, by the way. That's if you live all the way to the end. 4,000. So then what most of us do is we think like, oh my gosh, and then we have to like fit in all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. But what we don't realize is like we have to let go in order to do something. Otherwise, we're always trying to do everything, or we're fantasizing about maybe doing stuff that we never do. It's kind of what Russ was saying. I mean, I know he understands this. The concept of you burn the boats. It's like, I have to say no in order to have something. And I can be grateful for that thing. That's what this play is about, and it's very important, you know? Nobody's happy because nobody's focused on them. And I want to say something else that's very interesting. It happens 3 times in 3 different plays that we have here. And I don't think that these people even, I don't know that they knew it, but somehow maybe it got in there. The name Jesus comes up. She says, I'm lost, I'm this and that, and all of a sudden I just thought, and it's sarcastic in the play, but she just thought, and Jesus. So I went to church. But what happened? What happened at the church? They were shooting a commercial at the church, and the priest sent them away. Church is not the answer, because it's man-made. It's not like church is bad, but it's like you got to sift through this stuff, but it's God trying to reach you. That's the truth. In the last play we have, he says, Jesus, and she goes, no, not that either. Like, it's right there. It says it. And it's like, what are we missing? What's wrong with me? And it's like, because I'm selfish. I'm connected to me. I'm not releasing and going. That goes back to the service thing. Service comes from something bigger than you. That's what it's all about. And I believe it's what we're missing right now in this world that we live in. And the two of you started bringing it to life because it's funny and it's great, but it's also super sad.
So sad.
If you get through the whole play, you're like, I would hate to live that life. I would hate to even have a sliver of that life.
I had to take breaks while reading.
Of course. So I have to run away from those temptations because like, oh, it sounds so great to be a swinger and have sex with all the different people, and you're like, that's disgusting. It's not fulfilling. And the second you're done, you feel horrible. I imagine. All right, let's have the two of you grab a chair right in front here, and we'll end with a quick chat. Yeah, right there's good. Right there's good. So, where you at, Eater? Talk to me. How you feeling?
Great. Great. Yes. I learned a lot. Yes. Even the voice, I know, is even something that I do when I speak in my native language.
Is what?
Spanish. It's something that I do. That
It's fast?
Huh?
What do you do in your native language?
Like I speak low. That is like
Oh.
That's something that I've been working on even
Good.
in my native language, and maybe it's because of, I mean, yeah, what you said. I may be afraid to come up, or probably now I feel that I'm screaming. That if I had to to speak up, for me now it sounds like if I'm rude, or if I'm coming off like, yeah, I don't know, like that I'm screaming, like I'm yelling, or like I'm angry.
Right.
And then it's like my thought, do I have to feel like if I'm angry to speak up? Because I have noticed, like studying the scene at the beginning, even when we were rehearsing, I still was conscious, and I had to like, but then when I got loose on my mind, I was not thinking, and I was just like angry at her, and just like, and I
Yeah.
even asked her, can you understand me? Am I pronouncing? And she's like, yeah, because I was just not thinking, I was angry, I was like stronger, I don't know, I felt like, okay, and that's, yeah. I
Yeah.
had to break my comfort zone.
And today, you were happy and loud,
Yes,
and you were fun and loud.
yes,
You didn't have to be angry
no,
to be loud. And to rethink the process of, instead of thinking I'm being loud and I'm screaming, you have to think I'm being rude if I talk down here, because then other people can't hear me. And it's not okay for them to have to strain to hear you. You have to work on that. And the world, so that's why you have the same problem in your native tongue, is because it probably comes back to some sort of childhood thing where somebody quieted you down and told you, you know, your place. And it's the weirdest stuff. It's the weirdest stuff. It could be something you don't even realize, and you go back into your past life, and you're like, oh my gosh, my dad said that one thing to me, and I had no idea that that's affected my entire life. And that's why I do X, Y, Z. And then you heal it, you release it, and you move forward. But you have to unapologetically slow down and practice slowing down so that it no longer feels weird. What's interesting is it doesn't feel weird to Daniel to be loud and to enunciate. In fact, it probably feels weird not to now because he's practiced so much. And that's, and matter of fact, I guarantee it felt weird to her to bring her down. But when she came down, it was like we could finally understand what she was saying because she wasn't putting all this other stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
Great, what else? Is that it?
No, I appreciate, because I have learned a lot. I've enjoyed the class not only from performing, but also from listening the notes and from the other actors. And I appreciate it that, you know, I have learned from everybody. And that's it's a great opportunity. And I'm liking this. I can hear myself too. Yes, and that's something that I will keep working on.
Yeah, good, thank you. Appreciate you, and you're part of the
Thank you.
magic that's here. Thank you.
I'm learning to let go of what I think should be happening and just be there and wait and respond to my partner. And
I'm going to ask you a hard question. What did you learn in here, in your heart, this weekend?
I'm learning to be, I learned that it's okay to be quiet. It's okay to be soft. It's okay to just be.
Yeah,
And I don't have to perform.
Uh-huh.
I can just be.
And just you, I want to tell you, is good enough. And it's the most beautiful version of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, but it's true. It's true. And you know, so the reason we run Masterclass the way that we do is because I'm templating it off of what Larry Moss does in London and in New York and in LA once a year. And I've had the rare privilege of getting to be in the room with some fantastic people. And so this is not that, it's our version of that. I'm not trying to be him in any way, shape, or form, but I'm trying to recreate some of the magic that I got to experience as a student on the student end. It's life-changing, it's life-altering if you allow it to be. And I've seen so many people's lives be changed right in front of my eyes in a class like this. One lady in particular, she was probably 50 or so, and she had long blonde hair. She came in and she was kind of overacting. And Larry tried to give her a critique. He tried to love her, and she fought him. And no, I'm not. And he said, yeah, well, that's because you're trying to be a teenager. You need to cut your hair. And she just started crying. She got super pissed.
Yeah.
And she stormed out of the room. And in his class, it's a 4-day class. 2 days later, you can perform or not perform, right? Her and her scene partner showed up. Her hair was cut. And she was freaking awesome. And she was terrible on day one. He gave her tough love. He didn't come in to give her tough love, but she kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting. And he was right. He was just trying to help her, and she wouldn't hear it. And he's like, this is what you need to hear, period. And he didn't do it nasty, but he told her the truth. And oftentimes the truth is painful. And I did that for you yesterday, and I was trying to fight for you. And at the end, I knew I wasn't going to get an authentic response because you weren't ready yet. You weren't ready to talk from your heart. You wanted to talk from what you thought was going to be right. You weren't ready. It's okay. But I was trying to love you. But here's the thing. Here's the curious thing. The class was curious on whether or not this lady was going to come back or not. And she did. And we hailed her up. I hailed her up personally. And inside my mind, I said, wow, that lady went from being my most unfavorite person in the class to my favorite, because I saw how much strength she had. But I didn't like watching her fight against the teacher. It was not attractive. And so then she allowed her life to be changed. We have to allow it. We have to give into it. And you have to trust. I mean, you have to trust that I have your best interest at heart, and trust that I might be wrong. I mean, I believe that. But that what I'm hearing is like I hear something and I'm trying to help you find truth, whatever your truth is. But ideally, something changed in you today that will affect your motherhood, and will affect your marriage, and will affect any work you ever do in the future, will affect every gig you go on, will affect every audition. Because the just you, the just beautiful you without trying to do anything else, is the most attractive you. It's like when my wife gets offended when I'm like, I like you with no makeup. She's like, why you hate my makeup? I'm like, why did you hear that? I happen to find you very attractive the way you are. I'm sorry if that offends you.
There was something about being on the sofa that way. I'm not sure how to describe it. But I felt like I was in that dream.
Yes, and there were moments. It wasn't the whole time because you didn't have the lines perfect. So there were times that you had to like come out. But when you just were, and after I told everyone, hey, this is the most important monologue, it was awesome. Because but when you were trying to do your hand thing, it wasn't. But when you just let go, and what was cool about the couch was it was like putting ankle like brackets on you and like forcing you into a muzzle where you're not allowed to do anything other than just say the words, and you let the playwright, you let his work come to life, and we could hear it. Yes.
That felt so good.
It felt so good,
Yeah.
and that's what it's going to feel like always for you. It has to. And if it doesn't feel like that, it's wrong. And that's where it's like, it's okay to be wrong, but you need to feel, you have to go to that moment and go, if every word I say doesn't feel that real and that connected and that awesome, then I'm probably putting mustard on it, and I got to relax down and do less. But someone else, if their voice is swallowed up, they may be great at being natural, but I have to work on them in a different angle.
Right.
Okay? Yeah. What are you feeling?
I feel so good.
Yeah.
I feel so good.
And you showed up today, and you did the work, and you fought through all your hurt and the disappointment and everything else, and it's not about getting through the scene, and you get that now.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. It should just excite you to work on the scene again. That's it. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. I believe we are off to lunch for 1 hour. We'll be back in the afternoon.
Oh, just with this app, I think I'm gonna drink this.